sitting in front of the Fenway Hotel right now. My son Colton was in town visiting, and I asked him if he would come with me early in the morning, right as the sun is really coming up, to just spend a few minutes here actually sitting at the hotel. And I've realized I've learned so many lessons from this place. It's intrigued me and actually inspired me. When I first saw this hotel abandoned, I was just in awe of its beauty. It's just sitting here like a jewel that no one has touched. And then I realized there's hurting people living in here. Somebody, and maybe many people, have nowhere. They have nowhere to live, they have nowhere to go, so they keep breaking into windows, and then the windows keep getting boarded up, and they have to find a new way in. So the times that I traveled in here, which I've blogged about before, the times I crawled through the broken window and walked in and walked through the hallways and found the ballroom where someone actually is living, I had to face my fear. I was afraid to go in here, and yet I wanted to see if I could help somebody. Could I really make a difference in somebody's life? So I crawled through that broken window and crept through the hotel. I did not see somebody face to face, but what I know is that somebody's hurting, somebody's struggling, and we got to help people like that. We have to move into what we fear. And I know that sometimes we can be haunted, like this hotel, with things that we're afraid of. We don't want to move into the belly of our fear. When I crawled in the window and kept walking through the hallways, I thought, I'm going to face what I'm afraid of, because what if there's good that can come from it? Sometimes we move away from the good because we're afraid to creep into what scares us. We got to move towards our fear. We have to if we want to see change. I want to show you the back of the hotel where I crawled through so that you can see what happened and see what happened next. I'm standing at the back of the Fenway Hotel, and this is the entry point that I found to get in. After I had come here for about 2 weeks, sometimes just praying, sometimes just circling the hotel in prayer, and then the few times that I crawled in with food, or to just see if I could see anyone face to face, I was really excited about what the next chapter of this story was going to be. And in this interim, I had to leave Florida to go back to Houston for some speaking commitments. And I couldn't wait to get back here and finish this story. I had this whole drama planned in my head of how this was going to turn out, and encountering somebody and what this was going to look like. And I really just couldn't wait to see what would happen. But when I got back to Florida a couple days ago, this is what I saw. Just a giant boarded up window. I mean, this is literally bolted on both sides of the hotel window. This was my entry point. This window was blown out, glass everywhere. There's still glass on the ground. This is how I got in. And now it's completely sealed up. And when I came up to this point, I just got panicked and sad. I thought, how am I going to get into this hotel? There's no way I can get in now. And I have circled the premise, trying to find another way in to see if I can help somebody, and I can't find a way in. God has taught me so many lessons from this place, and one of them is that I love drama. I love a good story. I love a crazy, exciting, sensationalist type experience. And God has showed me that most of life is not that. Most of life is doing the right thing in the mundane. And honestly, this isn't the ending I wanted for this story. I wanted to get in there and make something really great and crazy and dramatic happen. God reminded me of Elijah. When Elijah was in need of a touch from God after a lot of dramatic things happened for him, when he was fighting off the false prophets and showing God's glory, God didn't show up to Elijah in mighty, sensationalist ways like the earthquake or fire. He showed up in a gentle breeze, much like what I feel on my skin right now. That's where God showed up to him. I even think about Jesus. We love to think about the miracles and the crazy things that happened when he walked the earth, but I think probably the most dramatic changes happened when people walked alongside him, sat at a meal with him, talked with him as he traveled. It wasn't the big miracles, I don't think, that truly came and changed in people's life. I think it was the mundane. And so I'm not done with this story yet. This isn't going to stop me. I'm going to continue to come here and pray and see if I can find the person that's living in this hotel. Because now, where are they? What are they doing now? Where are they? Friends, I just want to encourage us to face what we fear. Walk into the belly of it. And also, don't always think that it has to be some big drama, exciting thing. Sometimes the most meaningful things we do are the smallest things. And sometimes God just wants to see if we have the guts to show up.